After 10 years of paying my sister's rent in secret, I overheard her tell a date. I keep that moron on a leash. One guilt trip and he pays for everything. I quietly canceled every payment. This morning, she was screaming outside my office. Please talk to me. I'll start with this. Last night, I sat in my car across the street and watched my sister's electricity shut off. The windows flickered once, then black. Her date looked confused as hell. She started yelling at the landlord on the phone, and I just sat there, engine running, listening to her panic through the thin glass. She has no idea. Not yet. She has no idea why her life is about to collapse. But I do. And now, I'm going to tell you. For 10 years, I paid her rent in secret. 10 years. I'm not rich. I work tech support. Mid-level. I live in a tiny apartment with sagging blinds and second-hand furniture. I drive a 2009 Civic with a dent in the door I can't afford to fix. I shop clearance racks. I count coupons. Why? Because every month, like clockwork, $1, $300 disappeared from my account and landed in hers. Quiet. No questions. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It started after the accident. When our parents died, I was 23. She was 20. They were hit by a drunk driver on the way back from a friend's wedding. Died instantly. No life insurance. Barely any savings. My sister crumpled. Dropped out of school. Got evicted from her dorm. Wouldn't get out of bed. Wouldn't eat. I was just starting my first real job. Living on $38,000 a year. No clue how to handle probate, funeral costs, probate lawyers. No clue how to take care of a grieving sister who wouldn't even speak. So I did what I could. I covered her rent. Back then it was $800. I figured 6 months. Tops. Long enough for her to recover, get a job, stabilize. I didn't tell her it felt wrong. Like putting conditions on grief. She had no idea where the money came from. She'd post things on Facebook like, "Thank God for kind people," or "The universe provides." Friends called her so strong. I didn't correct them. I just paid. Quietly. But 6 months turned into a year. Then 2. By year 3, she wasn't even trying. Every time I gently suggested she get a job, part-time, anything, she'd burst into tears. How can you say that? You know what I've been through. And the guilt crushed me. Every time. Year 4, she stopped talking about grief altogether. But the payments kept going. I told myself it was fine. She was my sister. All she had left. If I didn't help, who would? But by year 5, she was thriving. She had a nicer apartment than me. Designer bags. Salon hair. Nails done weekly. And every time we met up, she'd spin these wild stories about business ideas and wellness retreats and manifestation. Still no job. I'd ask, gently, and she'd snap. You have no idea how trauma works. Not everyone heals on your timeline. Stop judging me. Cue the guilt. Cue the silence. Cue me paying another month. By year 7, something inside me cracked. I was eating ramen 3 nights a week to afford my own life. Meanwhile, she was posting vacation pics from Tulum and Greece. Manifested this. Abundance mindset. One night I confronted her. Flat out asked, "How are you affording all this?" She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Manifestation, baby. When you believe, the universe provides." And she smiled. Sweet. Serene. I wanted to scream. Instead, I swallowed it. Kept paying. By year 10 this year I was exhausted. And then, last Friday happened. I didn't mean to overhear it. Swear to God. I was at this tiny sushi bar downtown. Just wanted a quick dinner after work. Didn't even know she'd be there. I'm tucking into my miso soup when I hear her voice. Hi, flirty. Laughing. I glance over. She's 2 booths down. With some guy, tall, expensive watch, slick haircut. Leaning in close. She's drunk. Loud. And then I hear it. Clear as glass. He asks, "How do you afford that place? You don't work, right?" She giggles. Work? Please. I've got this moron brother. Total guilt complex. I keep him on a leash. One good guilt trip and he pays for everything. She laughs again. 10 years, baby. Rent, utilities, hell, I should ask for more. He's too dumb to say no. I felt like I'd been punched in the throat. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. 10 years. 10 years. And this was how she saw me? Not as family. Not as a brother trying to help. But as a moron on a leash. I left my meal half-eaten. Drove home shaking. Didn't sleep. Sat up all night with her payment portal open on my laptop. Staring. Hovering over the cancel button. And at 3:47 a.m., I clicked it. I didn't tell her. I wanted her to feel it. First day, nothing. Second day, text started. Hey, did the rent come through? Ignored. Hey, my account looks weird? Can you check? Ignored. Then the calls. Voicemails. Hey, can you call me? I think something's wrong with my bank. Ignored. Day 3, panic. Please, I need you. Something's wrong. I can't get a hold of my landlord. Ignored. Then this morning. 10:15 a.m. I'm in my office, work from home day, headphones on, grinding through a ticket backlog. And suddenly, bang 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 on the front door. I freeze. Then the screaming starts. Open the door. Please talk to me. You can't do this. It's her. Outside my apartment. In pajamas. Hair a mess. Eyes wild. Screaming. Neighbors peeking out. Her voice breaking. Please, please, I'm sorry. I'll fix it. Just talk to me. I need that money, you don't understand, I'll lose everything. I didn't open the door. Didn't say a word. Just sat there. Heart hammering. And here's the worst part. I don't feel guilty. Not anymore. Not after 10 years. Not after what I heard. Not after realizing she was never going to stop. Never going to stand on her own. Never going to see me as anything but a wallet with a guilt leash. She left eventually. I watched through the peephole as she slumped against the wall, sobbing, before finally stumbling down the stairs. And now? I'm sitting here. Laptop open. Phone blowing up. Texts pouring in. Please just call me. Please. Please. And I'm wondering, how long do I let her twist? How deep do I let this cut? Because part of me, dark, cold, wants her to crash. To feel it. To wake up in the dark, no power, no safety net, no leash to pull. Maybe then, just maybe, she'll finally understand. Edit 1. Wow, wasn't expecting this to blow up. Reading every comment. Can't reply to all, but thank you, seriously. It helps more than I can say. Edit 2. No, I'm not caving. Not this time. Lines drawn. Ropes cut. Edit 3. A lot of you are asking, yes, I have receipts. Bank records. Every payment. Every month. 10 years. If she tries to spin this, I'm ready. Update 1. I promised an update. Didn't think it would come this fast. Didn't think it would get this ugly. So after my first post, I figured the worst was over. She'd screamed outside my door, yeah. But eventually she left. I spent the rest of the day ignoring the texts and watching bad TV, trying to calm down. By midnight? Silence. By morning? Still quiet. I almost started thinking maybe she'd finally accepted it. That it was over. That the leash was cut. Then came noon. Bang bang bang. Again. But this time 3 voices. I checked the peephole. My sister. Her new boyfriend. And a cop. I'm not making this up. Somehow she'd roped a cop into coming to my door. I opened, cautious. The officer, mid-50s, tired eyes, gave me a practiced smile. Sir, we got a report of potential financial abuse between family members. Mind if we chat? I almost laughed. But instead I nodded. Sure. I invited him in. My sister tried to follow, I stopped her. She's not welcome in here, I said. Flat. The officer nodded. Had her wait in the hall. We sat down. And I told him everything. Everything. The secret payments. The guilt trips. 10 years of receipts. Pulled up my bank records, date-stamped transfers, monthly like clockwork. Showed him her Instagram, lavish vacations, designer stuff, all funded by me. The officer's smile faded. This isn't financial abuse, he said quietly. If anything, you've been exploited. He stood up. I'll go have a word with her. I watched through the peephole. He told her, blunt, ma'am, this isn't a police matter. You've been receiving money voluntarily. If it stopped, you can't force him to keep paying. She snapped. Started screaming. He's ruining my life. He promised. He's abandoning me. You don't know what I've been through. The boyfriend tried to pull her away, she shoved him. Then she turned, looked straight at my door, and shrieked. You're going to pay for this. I swear to God you are. Then she ran. The cop knocked once more. Sir, if she comes back, or if you feel unsafe, call us. I thanked him. He left. I sat there, shaking. Not from fear. From rage. How dare she? How dare she twist it like that? After everything. But here's where it gets worse. Much worse. 2 hours later, my email pinged. An unfamiliar address. Subject line. Statement of harassment and abuse, immediate attention required. It was a formal complaint, filed to my employer, claiming I had been harassing her, that I was withholding financial support as retaliation, that I'd emotionally abused her for years, that I was now endangering her housing stability. She was trying to get me fired. My stomach dropped. I called my manager, explained everything. Thankfully, I have a solid rep, he believed me. But still HR is involved now. Formal process. Investigation. Even though it's nonsense, now I have to defend myself. Burn time, burn energy. All because my sister couldn't milk me anymore. And here's the sickest part. She planned this. That boyfriend? He's not just a date. He's a paralegal. Works for a scummy firm in town. I did some digging, thank you, Reddit sleuths who DM'd me. Found his socials. He specializes in tenant advocacy and domestic financial abuse cases. She's weaponizing him. She thinks if she can't guilt me, she'll ruin me. Legally. Financially. Socially. But she made a mistake. A big one. She forgot. I kept everything. Every bank record. Every text. Every email. Every voicemail. And now? I'm done playing defense. Tomorrow I meet with my lawyer. Yes, I hired one. A good one. 8. A formal cease and desist for harassment. A counter-complaint for malicious false reporting. And possibly, if this escalates, a restraining order. Because here's the thing. I'm not on a leash anymore. She is. And when this rope tightens, she won't be ready. Final note for now. Right after I finished this post, another email hit. From my landlord. Urgent, your sister attempting lease access? Apparently, she tried to access my lease file. Claimed she was an authorized co-tenant. I live alone. She's never been on my lease. She's trying to get into my apartment now. I'm locking everything down. Lawyer on speed dial. Because something tells me this is about to go nuclear. Edit 1. Wow. Overwhelmed by the support. Truly. Thank you all. And yes, lawyer says I absolutely have grounds for action. Edit 2. No, I will not cave. No deals. No more leash. Update 2. I said this would go nuclear. I underestimated. This is worse than I imagined. First, quick recap. Cancelled 10 years of secret rent payments to my sister after overhearing her brag she kept me on a leash. She showed up at my door with a cop claimed I was financially abusing her. Cop sided with me. Then she filed a harassment complaint to my employer trying to get me fired. She also tried to access my apartment lease under false pretenses. I thought that was the limit. That she'd run out of ammo. I was wrong. The identity theft. It started yesterday morning. I got an email from a credit monitoring service I signed up for years ago, thank God I did. Subject line. New credit account opened, is this you? I froze. Opened it. A $15,000 line of credit had been opened under my name using my exact personal details. Application submitted 2 days ago. Approved. Funds drawn down yesterday. I called the bank. Pulled the application logs. Guess whose IP address matched the submission? Yep. My sister's apartment. She used my SSN, my birth date, my old address, and my mother's maiden name. All info she had access to because she's my family. Because she knew where I kept it. Because I trusted her once. The funds? Already moved to an unknown account. But here's the kicker. The account was in her name. She stole from me. Directly. I immediately called my lawyer. Filed a police report. Frozen my credit. Filed fraud alerts with all 3 bureaus. I am now formally pursuing criminal identity theft charges. Civil action for damages. Full restraining order. My lawyer says we have a rock-solid case. But while I was on the phone with him, my phone blew up. Texts from coworkers. Friends. Even my boss. Apparently, she'd sent letters. Actual printed letters. Mailed them to my company's leadership team. My boss wife. HR. Even some clients. The accusation? That I was a known predator. That I preyed on vulnerable women. That I had a long history of controlling and abusive behavior. She included fabricated emails poorly photoshopped. Fake screenshots of threatening texts. Claims that I was dangerous and unstable. She told them. I stayed silent for years because he was my brother. But now that he's retaliating financially, I fear what he'll do. It was so brazen, so insane, some people didn't know what to believe. My boss? Thankfully, he backed me. Knew my reputation. Knew me for years. But the damage? Done. My lawyer now suspects defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, malicious interference with employment. And the worst part? She sent letters to my landlord, to my neighbors, to my ex-girlfriend, to my friends' spouses. She's trying to scorch earth my entire life. Why? Because I stopped paying her rent. Because I cut the leash. Because I said no. And now she's unraveling. The confrontation. This morning I went to my lawyer's office to sign the first round of filings. Guess who was waiting outside? My sister. And her new paralegal boyfriend. She ran up to me in front of the building. Screaming. How could you do this? You're trying to destroy me. I'll make sure you never work again. I'll tell everyone you tried to sleep with me. Yeah. That one stopped me cold. She's escalating to incest accusations now. People on the street stopped. Phones came out. She didn't care. I walked past her. Didn't say a word. Filed everything. Signed everything. We are moving forward with criminal charges. Civil suit. Permanent restraining order. Defamation countersuit. But even that wasn't the worst part. The final blow so far. While I was in the lawyer's office, I got a DM. From an anonymous Instagram account. Message. You should have paid up. Now we're coming for more. Attached? A photo of my building. My door. My nameplate. They know where I live. I showed it to my lawyer. He's contacting the police again. We may need a stalking protection order. And now? I'm staying at a friend's place. Locks changed. Cameras installed. But the fight is on. And I swear to every person reading this. I am not backing down. She stole from me. She tried to ruin me. She weaponized my love, my guilt, my loyalty for a decade. Yeah? I will take everything she has left. This isn't over. Not even close. Edit 1. Yes, pressing criminal charges for identity theft. Lawyer says 99% chance of conviction with our evidence. Edit 2. To everyone asking, yes, I'm safe. Staying with friends. Lawyer and police are fully looped in. Edit 3. New detail, just learned she tried to file a false restraining order against me this afternoon. We're countering with hard evidence. Update 3. Buckle up. This is no longer just about money. No longer just legal. This is getting twisted. I barely slept last night. Staying at my friend Eric's place. Cameras set up on my apartment door. Police aware. Lawyer on speed dial. Thought I covered everything. I was wrong. At 7:43 this morning my phone buzzed. Motion alert, front door camera. Someone was outside my apartment. I pulled up the feed. My sister. Alone. Hoodie up. Hair mess. No boyfriend this time. Holding a key. I sat up in bed hard hammering. She shouldn't have a key. I changed the locks. Except, she had one of my old spare keys. From years ago. One I forgot about. She let herself in. I called Eric. Called the police. Watched helplessly on camera as she went inside. She was inside my home. For 28 minutes. When the cops arrived, she was gone. Window open. Fire escape used. But what they found inside? The ritual. When the officers cleared the unit, they found my passport missing from my lockbox. Clumps of my hair cut from an old brush. A bloody fingernail, not mine, left on my desk. A handwritten ritual on torn notebook paper. The paper read, to bind and weaken. It was some manifestation/curse nonsense. Written in her handwriting. Covered in symbols. My name written over and over. Some lines. Return what is mine. Bend his will. Crush his defenses. The cops photographed everything. Bagged it. My lawyer called it evidence of escalating obsession. Police now believe she's mentally unstable. In violation of multiple orders. Escalating toward potential violence. And then, the officer said something that chilled me. She's missing. After the break-in, police checked her apartment. She's gone. Boyfriend hasn't seen her. Phone off. No one knows where she is. The worst news. As I was reeling from that, my lawyer called again. New intel. She contacted a reporter. A tabloid stringer. The kind that runs trash, local scandal stories. She gave them her fake harassment story. Fabricated screenshots. Her version of the evil brother who abandoned her after trauma. And worse. She's trying to sell the story. My lawyer already fired off preemptive legal threats. But if the outlet runs with it, my name could be dragged nationally. All because I stopped paying her rent. Mental state? I'm numb. Shaking 1 minute. Furious the next. Heartbroken sometimes. Mostly just tired. I spent 10 years trying to help her. Paying. Sacrificing. Cutting my own life to lift hers. And now? She's trying to destroy me. Police advice? They've now classified her as unstable and escalating. Potentially dangerous. In violation of pending restraining orders. A flight risk. They advised. Do not return to my apartment alone. Stay at friend's place until further notice. Do not engage if she contacts me. Let police handle any future break-ins. They are now actively searching for her. My parents would be horrified. Sometimes I still think about them. About how this started because they died. Because I was trying to protect her. If they could see this now, I think it would kill them again. Next steps. Criminal charges moving forward. Civil suits locked in. Full protective order being expedited. Media suppression letters filed. Landlord increasing security at my building. And yet, I'm scared. Because I don't think she's done. If she was willing to. Break in. Steal identity. Try to hex me, WTF. Smear me publicly. What's next? The final twist, for now. Right before posting this, I got another DM. Anonymous burner account. If you don't pay up, next time won't be so clean. Attached. Photo of my friend Eric's car. They know where I'm staying now. I don't know how this ends. But I swear. I will see this through. She wanted to play games? She wanted to weaponize guilt, love, family? No more. Edit 1. Yes, police confirmed fingerprints on the ritual paper. Match to my sister. Edit 2. Apartment complex now increasing surveillance. New locks. Eric and I also moving locations for safety. Edit 3. Lawyer says after this felony charges very likely. Update 4. I'm shaking as I write this. This will be the last update for a while. I can't keep doing this. You followed from the start. 10 years of secret rent paid to my sister. Overheard her brag she kept me on a leash. Cancelled payments. She escalated police visits, false harassment claims, identity theft, defamation. Broke into my apartment, left a bizarre ritual with my passport, hair, a bloody fingernail. Went missing. Sent threats to where I was staying. I thought after that last update, after police classified her as a threat, she'd stay gone. Or they'd find her. I underestimated her. Again. The work event. My company hosted a charity gala last night. Formal event. Suits. Public. Press invited. I wasn't going to go. Lawyer said stay low. But my boss insisted show face, prove I wasn't hiding. So I went. Escorted. Cautious. On edge. It was fine at first. Dinner. Speeches. A faint sense of relief, maybe she really was gone. Then, dessert. The scream. It started faint. A voice. Shaky. Then louder. Thief. Liar. He stole my life. Heads turned. I looked toward the entrance. It was her. My sister. In my dead mother's dress. I haven't seen the dress in years. It was packed away in storage. She must have broken into my storage unit. God knows when. It hung off her wrong. Stained. Torn. Buttons ripped. Makeup smeared. She looked unhinged. She screamed. He left me to die. He took everything. He's a monster. He killed them. The room froze. Security moved in. But she fought. Clawed. Shrieked. You all think he's good? He's evil. He's evil. I stood there. Ice cold. Couldn't move. Dragged out. It took 4 security guards to drag her out. Kicking. Scratching. Spitting. Her last words before the doors slammed shut. If I can't have you in my life, you can't have a life. Fallout. Afterward? The room was silent. Boss pulled me aside. Police called. Filed full report. Witnesses. Footage. She is now a wanted fugitive. Full felony charges in motion. Burglary. Identity theft. Defamation. Harassment. Stalking. Terroristic threats. The final horror. When I got back to my apartment today with police escort, they searched again. Found something hidden under my bed. A small wooden box. Inside. More of my hair. Shards of broken mirror. A used tissue from my bathroom trash, violated, disgusted. A photo of me as a child, face scratched out. A folded note. One day you will wake up and everything you love will be gone. I am done. I can't stay here. I'm leaving the city. Lawyer agrees. Police support it. Temporary relocation. New address. New everything. I never wanted this. Never wanted war. I spent a decade trying to help her. 10 years of sacrifice. And this is how it ends. Epilogue 4 now. The guilt is gone. The leash is cut. But so is something in me. Family is dead. Not just my parents. Her too. I don't know if I'll post again. Maybe when she's caught. Maybe when the trial happens. But right now, I'm disappearing. For my safety. For my sanity. If you take one thing from my story, let it be this. You cannot save someone who will burn you to keep warm. Thank you to everyone who followed. Your messages kept me sane. Goodbye. For now. Edit 1. Yes, moving today. Police have patrols watching. Lawyer coordinating everything. Edit 2. Please do not contact me asking where I'm going. For my safety, it must stay private. Edit 3. When it's safe, when I'm ready, I'll return. And I'll tell you how it ends.